primping? No, I had to make a die, and it was a ducky, so it took me an extra minute. There we go. I think we got it here. He must be primping. No, no. Okay, I did take a shower, wash my hair. Okay, let's see who's going here. We're going to talk about, what are we going to talk about? Oh, different classes of double dies. How's everyone today? Let's get started with that. Let's clean that out. There we go, wash it down. That's coffee. I make it strong enough to experience rage when you bite into it. It's beautiful. Look what CJ sent. He sent some dies. You got to check out CJ's channel. Does this 3D stuff. Let me show you some other. Where's his box? Where'd it go? Where's CJ? Nope. Nope. CJ, where are you? There. It's on the bottom, of course. I broke my little shelf. Everybody sends stuff, and I put it down here on the shelf. Well, it's wrecked. He sent some stuff, right? He does 3D printing, CJ does. So he'll do, for example, an insert that would go inside one of these 2x2 acrylic holders. And this one, if it would ever focus on this camera, fits a Hawaiian quarter. He's got, I mean, every design under the sun, right? Check this out. There's Hawaii again. Yeah, I always grab the same one twice. Here's West Virginia. So you take all your different quarters and put them in there. Kind of nifty. Well, I had picked up some quarters from Lemonhead. There we go. Hopefully Hawaii is not one of them. Oh, good. So we got a few more to play with. All right, and CJ sent several of these already filled. What do we got here? We got, I don't know what we got. Arizona, Hawaii. They're still in the baggies. There's New Mexico. These are all fruits. They're wonderful. We'll give these away one day over in the big show. Check that out. Okay. Of course, if you like orange, we got orange. What color you like? I think the gray is kind of nice for the quarters. But we're going to put together a bunch of these because we got every darn one of them. You got to check out CJ's channel because he does this stuff, right? And he had a great show where he was actually making the design for these dies. It was wonderful, right? Shows you what happens if you twist it and you get something like this shows up, right? Like here, this would be like a hub. And the hub, you squeeze the hub into the die and you make the design transfer over. That's the whole idea. Let me set this down. But you can find CJ in the directory down below. Yeah, we're going to talk about how does this happen. This would be a die, right, that is doubled. And I'm going to put it down here under the scope so you get an idea what it's going to look like. Can we see it on the inside? I didn't actually check this part. Oh, well, there's what the different layers of the 3D printer do. I'm afraid I don't have, it's not going to work on that, but you can see over here the letters are just, you know, one on top of another. That's just too close. There you go. That's a better idea of what the die would look like because that gets pressed into the coin. Here's the process, right? You got a big plate and the engraver is going to sculpt and chisel and draw and scratch and make that design. And he sprays the thing with like polyurethane so it doesn't get screwed up when they transfer the design using this, it's like a pantograph, and they transfer design to a hub, right? Oops, you can't see nothing here. Home. There we go. Now a hub looks just like the coin. It's like a die, but the top, the very top of it would be just like a coin, right? Raised up, has all the design elements, the whole bit. Same as a coin, but it doesn't, without the rim, you see, because it's the die. Okay, the hub, well, you can only make so many coins out of a single die, right? And if it's raised up, well, you got to transfer that design to make it an innie. You got to have an innie. Right? You get an innie and an outie. That would be a hub. That would be a die. The hub, you can, well, if you're going to make 10 billion coins, you got to make some dies. So the hub makes the working. Let me start over. you have the master hub, right? That's the daddy of them all. That's grandpa. The master hub makes master dies, right? But you're not going to make a whole lot of coins out of the master dies. You're going to run out of dies. You're going to wear out the hub before you get them all done. So the master die would then produce a working hub. Real simple. You take the master die and you go stomp, and it's just like making a coin, except instead of pressing a planchet, you press another die. Okay. Now you have the working hub, and the working hub will make the working dies. And that's kind of like a die. Here's an actual die. That was used to make steak quarters. It's a little rusty at this point. Don't let that slow you down. The mid has to grind off the top of these because they can't put the darn thing out. People will be making their own quarters. That's the process in general, right? What happens is it's not a perfect process. Sometimes it comes down to the working die, no, the working hub and the working die, right? Typically, the hub, this is the way they used to do it, the hub would be pressed into the die to make the image. Then they take that thing, they put it in an oven, in a annealing furnace, heat it up, because it's got to be good and warm to accept this design properly. Well, they changed the whole way they make it. Now it's a single squeeze. They just slam it in there once, call it good, and hump out the pennies. Okay, so sometimes things went wrong in between when they hub it the first time, anneal it, bring it back, hub it the second time. And what we want to talk about is how does this happen? What goes on? And boy, this is where the Play-Doh is going to shine. Who's in here? I'm here, but driving. Don't coin roll hunt and drive. I tried it. It's not safe. It's a bad idea. I'm about to drive. Oh, well, you got time. I hope all of you are doing good. I won't be able to reply for a little while. That's Mantic. He's going to the store to buy some stuff, and later on he's going to get back online here and stream all day. Wait for it. He'll be there. He's got a great show right after here. He comes on at 5:30 Eastern, which is 4:30 Central, and I don't know what time it is, like on the West Coast and over there. Yesterday had a little mishap. A surfboard flew off and hit her car. Only in California. Around here, it'd be like deer. And if a deer flew off the hood of your truck, somebody would just, throw it in the back of their truck. Ain't no keeping up with it. Jonathan Smelko, how are you? Good to see you. Jonathan just got a package. He's pretty excited about it. Okay, let's look at this right quick. And I got a tuna can just to flatten that out. And I tried this already, and it's working pretty good. Okay, you take the hub. This would be the hub, and this is the die, or it's going to be a die. Right now, it's like a almost ready die. It's a blank. But you take the hub, which is raised, looks just like the penny or the quarter, whatever you're doing, and you press it in. All right, you pull it out, and it looks like that. Oops, and I dropped it. Oh no. Well, I got to do it again. Maybe I take this and throw it in the furnace over there and heat it up, and then I'm going to, put it back on and press it a second time. And something went wrong because now I got this. Does that make any sense? You make a coin out of that die, and it's going to be screwed up. I guarantee it. But there's different ways the die comes into contact with the hub. There's your hub. And depending on how these two things interact is the class of double die you have. That's a doubled die. All right, you got 3 D's in there, doubled. So you get D on each end and D for die. Who's over here? Ray Chep just showed up. I love your Henning. It's beautiful. I'm waiting for it, man. We're going to have a whole show just on Henning Nickels. Man, I've wanted a Henning nickel for a long time. Just never got around to it. Last night on Robert Lawson's auction, it was on CoinOp. I made the mistake of saying, go see Robert Lawson's channel. Oh, he was on CoinOp. Oh, gosh. Well, anyway, I look up and there's a Henning. I'm, just smashing the keyboard. I missed the first 5 minutes. That's okay, CJ. We only said bad things about you. CJ made these things. Oh, we threw another one in too, right? This one didn't work right during printing. So this here, that's a cud. That's where a whole side of the die is missing, right? If you get a piece that breaks off in the middle, that's a chip. If it breaks off the side, right? See the way that whole side is screwed up? That is a cud die. Oh, while I'm here, we can show this off. Where's my tuna can? There we go. We'll flatten it out. So if we take a die where side of it is broken off and make a coin, I'm going to have a big chunk over here on the side. See the way that's a cud? It's over here connected with the rim of the coin. Yeah, that's a famous counterfeit nickel. You kidding? Yeah, we'll probably put in the Big Show. I think the Big Show would do well with an added Henning nickel. So that's how you make a cud. It's the die that's broken. The whole piece of it, the whole side of it's gone away. If this was a die, a whole section of the side would be gone. Okay, let's get into it now. Because there's only so many things can go wrong. They got these dies, I mean, in a machine, you know, kind of locked in place. If you actually look at it, you can see they have a flat side there, and that's used as, you know, part of the means to lock it in. They drive a set screw in there, or have a Woodruff key. And somewhere here, there we go. We can almost see that. CJ has portrayed the flat edge pretty well here. That's how that works. Okay. Then you got the hub. It's bolted in above it, and they're going to jam the thing down with hydraulic force. Real strong. Big fat machine. You got a guy, his job is to press a button. They call him a machine operator. Okay. The first one's real easy. There's your regular die ready to go. Okay, we're going to take the hub. Right. I'm going to press it into the die. Good. Now, I'm going to need a piece of paper. Oh, good. I got them up here now. Yeah, I had to clean up my desk. Because, well, what the heck. Oh, let's take 20 pieces of paper. And this will work, too, because I can slide this onto that. Okay, watch this. Let me get over here on the piece of paper so I can show it. And here comes the pen. Now, the whole idea is that the first time that thing goes in, it's going to set the design. They're going to take the hub away, take the die out, stick it in the annealing furnace, put it back in. But what if something turns, right? You get a turn, either clockwise or counterclockwise. You follow me? That would, if I could pick it up. I'm not gonna move it around. I'm just gonna take it exactly where it is and turn it just a little bit, right? Just turn it and sink it in again. And I have a class 1 doubled die. Let's see if we can see what the heck we're talking about. All right, you got 2 impressions, and it's rotated. Class 1 is a rotated hub. You have turned it. And that's the original die. Simple and easy. Single design. And he had that other one. Where'd that go? Did I lose one already? 1, 2, 3. How can it go that far, that fast? 1, 2. Oh, it's under there. There you go. So if I were to take that and rotate it, and CJ did this and made a rotated hub doubled die. Now, look at this. Look at the letters on here. It's almost a, whoa, there it goes. It's a perfect match here. What he did is pretty much the same darn thing as we just showed. I think my specimen's a little extreme. And they're out there. You'll see these. Okay, I got a great, here it is. Let me pull that up. We're going to go to the screen. I'm going to show you a class, what is this? Yeah, here's a class 1 doubled die. And you've probably heard of this one. Let's see, I go to the screen. Here it is. The 1955 double die. This is off of VarietyVista.com. And let me see if you can see what I'm seeing, because I've been screwing with the screen for days and weeks. Okay, there you go. And you see the same darn thing we see in this die we just produced. The hub was rotated in relation to the die in between hubbings. And you have this tremendous offset, this distance between one and the other. And it's clockwise or counterclockwise in the direction. There you go. This is, oh, let me explain the numbers here. You got 1955 is the date. DDO is double die obverse. 001, that's what listing number it is, because there are several different double dies. Then you got 1, which is the same as 001. Then you got O, obverse. You got a 1, that's actually a Roman numeral, which looks like an I. So it's a class 1, and the direction is counterclockwise. That's what all that hubbub is. It's also known as FS 101. There you go, and that's that beautiful 1955 double die you've heard so much about. Most of your, let me pull this up, most of your 1972s, where'd this go, are also class 1 double dies. You've seen that, you've heard of the 1972 double die. Okay, where do we got? Here's one. Yeah, here's an example. If I can get that out. I got Play-Doh on my hands, so I don't want to touch this too much. Now, not all of them are this extreme. Sometimes it's just, you know, a budge. Scope, here we go. This is a 1972. Okay, and this is double die obverse number 3. And we're getting close to take a look here. And the same darn thing happened, just not as extreme as that 1955. And you're going to see it especially well in the letters "In God We Trust" over here. I have no pointy stick. Here's one. There you go. Because I got to go all the way over. And a little shadow can help here. And you'll see the extra doubling, one beside the other. It's not quite enough to separate the whole things entirely, so you have, you know, what's going to hurt your eyes, where you have in and then in. It's just a little bit. But you'll see this across the entire coin. Let's add some shadow here. Across the O and God and the D and the W-E. So it's kind of like having two letters side by side. Now let's say go home. So if we did it just slightly, and here it is. I'm going to press it in. I'm going to pick it up and just give it a slightest little bit of turn. And press it again. What am I going to look at? I'm going to look at a blurry camera. Okay, maybe this might not be the best example. What if I put that under here? Okay, let's try it. And this comes down to the quality of the clay more than anything else. And being Play-Doh, I don't suspect it's going to be all that great. Okay, let's see. There's the clay. And can we see anything at all? There's a T. Is that a T? All right, this didn't work. What is that? That's an S. Yeah, that part of the experiment wasn't quite good enough. That's no matter. We can just look at coins. Let me find my way home real quick. There's everybody. I see Ricers here. And find that. Okay, I got another one here. Let me put this one away quick. And I don't want to touch it. I hate touching these things when I get Play-Doh in my hand, so I just line them up right here. There. And then I can knock that open just a little bit. I've got another class 1. This is a 1971. Is it? No, that's the wrong one. I can't see. Let me set that off. 1971, class 1. Yeah, this is it. Pusa says, hi there, cheers to all, and hope you're doing well. Good to see you, Pusa. Blues is here. Now, the 1971 is even more mild than the 1972. This is Konica number 4. Yeah, Wexler number 4. And you're going to see it up here in God We Trust as well. Same idea, but it's a little closer. It's a lot closer. It's a rotated hub, the same as the 1955 double die, but a whole lot gentler. It's a kinder, gentler double die. And let's see if we can get that to focus. That'll be a miracle all by itself. There you go. And you'll see the secondary impression just off to the right. This is a clockwise, whereas that 72 we just saw was counterclockwise. Let's add a little bit of shadow here. See on the end, for example, I think we can see it okay there on the eye. And it shows up better. The farther from the radius you go, the better it's going to show up. There you go. And the right sides of the slants on the weave. And we should have some on the U here. If we can make that work. Just in the upper bits of the U. Now the whole idea because it's rotated. Home. Okay. Because it's rotated. All right. Let's draw a circle. Let's draw a really sloppy circle. That's good enough. Okay. Class 1 is a pivot around that center axis, right? So you have difference in radius. Close in, if it pivots this much out here, it's just this much down here, you know, 1/8 of an inch, and that's an inch. That's a 1/16 of an inch. Not enough to notice. The bigger the coin and the more the rotation, the greater the separation will be out here at the outside. And you won't hardly see a thing down here on the inside. If we can get that to focus. Maybe I should use blue. Okay, over here you got CJ. Yeah, it's totally gone. Right, the C and the J, and then here's another C and J. And we started with that C and J. Right, but over here in the center, it's just a little twist. The closer to the center, it's just a little twist. So you want to pick these out. Look at the outside of the coin, the outside of the edge. The furthermost design elements is where you're going to pick them up the easiest. There you go. Much like you have on the U here. Where'd that 72 go? Did I put that away? Oh, here it is. Come on. Yeah, I don't want to touch it, so I'm nudging it around with that. On that 72, you see it's much more extreme than that 71. There we go. Look at that R. And far from the center, you're going to see it, whereas inside, you don't see a thing. Here's his ear. Where's his nose? There you go. You don't see a thing. And that's a 1972. There you go. You see on the tail of the tooth, for example. You see some over here on Liberty. Okay, there's 72. And here's 71. Whoops. Take that with it. Okay. That's a class 1. Real simple. You get your head around the class 1. These tend to be the most awesome, you know, the greatest separation, because the whole thing is spun right around on the center. They draw the biggest premium, get the best money, they get it claimed. The 69S double die number 1 is one of these. The 72 is one of these. Let's look at class 2 double die, because we got 8 of them to work with. How's stuff to the north? Howdy, Tim. Tim's here. Tim Holmes. Silver Bag is here. I remember to smash that like button. You want to smash that notification bell. Where's my screen? Can you see it? It looks just like this does up here, except it's just below the video. And if you press that bell up or down below the video, if I do something, you'll get a notification. And that's going to be real handy come the 25th of the month of August. Because we got, geez, have you seen the schedule already for the coin weekend? Let's take you over there real quick. Screen, where'd you go? Here it is. Here it is. Here's the coin video seminar weekend. It's August 25 and 26. There's a bunch of links there. You'll find the description down below. The link to this is my blog, right? But to show times, check this out. On Saturday, we've already got, let's see, Reiser opening up in the morning, or Reiser. Charlie Reiser, he's got a giveaway coming up from 9 to 10. Now, we got an opening here for a couple of hours from 10 to 12. Then we got Schumacher Coin Chats. He's going to talk about die wear during production. Bill 457, he's going to talk about the benefits of trading coins. Immediately after him, you got Coin and Card Hobbyist. She's going to do a collaboration with Paula Bloom. That should be interesting. Where's my tuna can? Yeah, while I'm talking this, I'm smashing up this piece of die of Play-Doh here. Let's see, 2:30 to 3, there's a little break, so everybody can run to take a lunch. Bitcoin class, I'll be talking about how to ask questions about your coins and get good answers. Then you got Mantic will be on at 4 to 5, and he's going to be going off about 1971 double die $half, having a good giveaway. Oh, where'd that one I have? Let me find that. Just a moment. What I had it. See, I've been cleaning up around here to no avail. Is it in here? Is that it? I think this might be it. Oh, here we go. I'm having a giveaway during that coin class, because I don't usually have giveaways during coin class. Ooh, and look at what we got. This came in from Black Steel Reserve 366. You'll find him in the directory. He sent in a Canadian Maple Leaf. That's a 1 ounce, 0.999 fine. Brilliant uncirculated. This is MS69, slab by PCGS. And if you'd like to win this, whoa! If you'd like to win this, you want to be there all day for the coin seminar. It'll be fun. Okay, let me get back to where I was. Where was I? Okay, there we go. Lemonhead's coming at 5 to 6. You got a break for an hour and a half, but we can fill that time. And Josh Wright's going to come in and talk about bicentennial quarters. We got a half an hour break before Cheapskate comes in talking about lesser known coins. Yeah, he's going to tell you about stuff you never heard before. And Robert lost it at 9. So you're looking at early morning before 9, from 10 to 12, a couple of small spots in between, and then after 10, because Saturday is filling up fast if you want to get in on this. And Sunday noon is you can sleep in. It's okay. Hoogie starts up at noon. He's going to have a giveaway, probably a Morgan dollar, knowing him. Then Beth at 3 o'clock. Rob Stewart at 5. You guys want to get in there, watch all these. Let me get back to the chat here. Home there, because there's some giveaways. There's going to be lots to learn. I would like to win that. Yeah, I would like to keep that. Let's just cancel the whole thing, and I'll just heck with it. I'm going to shut this whole thing off and keep that. Look at it. These are like 25, 30 bucks. Slab by PCGS. That's probably a $35 coin. All right, and get rid of this. I gotta build another shelf, man. Okay, class 2 is a distorted hub. Now, there's been some questioning about this. We thought the initial theory was that the hub itself, right? You take the hub, you smash it on the die, you smash it in, you smash it in. The hub would get worn and flatten out and become, kind of overgrown and widen and thicken just from use, right? Imagine the top of that. If you had stamped, 500,000 coins out of there, you can expect that the head of that would tend to mushroom. So that was one theory, because it's a bit distorted. The prevailing theory right now is it's the result of annealing. Now, you press the hub into the die, right? You pull it out, then you send this off, take it off to the furnace where it's annealed, it's heated up. Now, what happens when it's heated up? The metal expands. You follow me? That thing grows by just a hair. Now, if it doesn't return to its normal size, doesn't cool off properly, and gets hubbed again, even if the hub is lined up just right, and this can be tricky. There you go. You can get what is called Distended Hub Dumpling. Let's see if we can see that. Kinda. The whole idea is it tends to be outward, right? It tends to be out from the center or into the center. Maybe it went too much. And that's a class 2. I've got an example here. 4, 2. No, that's a 6. I thought I had one. Class 2, right there. Whoa, lost it. All right, 1957D. So it tends to be radial, right? Right out from center. They tend to be pointed outward. Let me try to do that right. Okay, let's have a look here. And the place to pick this up is over here in Liberty. Where it's hubbed twice, and it doesn't quite line up, and they tend to move outward. Okay, 1957D, right? There's the D, and this is double die burst number 1, and you're going to see this primarily on R, T, and Y. And look on the left sides of the R, T, and Y, especially the T and Y, and you'll see just the tiniest bit of doubling. And this one's hard to pick up, believe me, especially with a camera. Good Lord. You'll see more with your naked eye than you ever will with a camera. I'm not really getting it here. Let's try giving the camera a little tilt. Maybe that'll help out. Okay, maybe you can see it on the upper part of the left side of the Y. I got a stick here if I can point to it. And I'll try adding a little shadow perhaps. The upper side of the left of that Y. This is a very subtle double dye. Look at the leg of that R. It's very subtle. There we go. And if I get the shadow just right, we can see it on the inside of the T on the left side. Very slight. These are easy to miss. Let's catch up here. I'll be on the 25th at 1 Eastern. You got it, Bill. That's Bill 457. He's going to talk about, wait for it, I gotta cheat. Bill at 1 o'clock is going to talk about the benefits of trading coins. Get in there and check that out. Only a half an hour, so you want to catch that. Okay, now in this instance, it was hubbed. The die was taken away, annealed, brought back, and had not yet cooled to its, to its normal size, and got hubbed again. Now the hub is the same size. So if the die is bigger, I'm going to have some doubling, and this is called distorted hub. And it's not the hub that's distorted. I think it's the die that's distorted. The whole thing has been stretched from annealing. Well, that's an interesting one, but they tend to be outward. And there's a whole bunch of them. You'll see these. You get into Konica, look at their listings, you'll find a bunch. Let's move on to class 3. And I do not have an example here, but I have a picture of one. That's what I said. Heat had something to do with the 2018 penny. Entirely possible, but it's a single hub nowadays. They don't hub them repeatedly. That's the whole point of the new process. So those should have gone away because they're only hubbed one time. They only press it once, and it's done. They don't take it away, heat it back up, and then hit it a second time. The new method of the single squeeze era should have eliminated the class 2 double dies. Story time with Ricer that morning. Yep, Ricer's going to kick it off at 9 o'clock unless somebody says, I'll go on at 8. Okay, 3. You won't see these very much. Okay, 3 is design hub doubling. That's where I'm going to take this hub, right? I'm going to press it in, right? I'm going to take that away, get it heated up. But when it gets hubbed a second time, it's not necessarily the same die, right? Now, I don't have another one of these. I've only got the one die. How can I make this work? Well, just imagine these letters are smaller, lighter, bigger. They change some aspect of the design. And I would have hubbed it again. They wouldn't line up exactly. There'd be some distortion in there. And I'm going to have a funny looking, Yeah. This happens. An example of this would be the 1960D. Where did I have? I had a picture, I swear. Did I have a picture? God, I had one. It's gone. 1960, you had the large and small dates. I'm going to have to pull one out here. Okay, double die. Here we go. Give me a moment. I'm going to load a couple of pages here. Let me pull up 1960 because you got a large over small date. And this is perfect. And you get a small over large date. So while this is loading, I might lose the stream. Okay, scope. Let me check if we're still on. I got a yellow line. Life is good. Where's the screen? Here's the screen. Here we go. Watch this. 1960 double die of verse number 1. It's not a proof issue, right? And this is a class 3 where you have the small date over the large date. How can you do that? Well, it's easy. The hub was changed while the die was being annealed, and this shows up well on the date. Here you go. And you can see it here. It's a smaller 1, right, over a larger 1. It's a smaller 9 over a larger 9. Same with the 6 and the 0. That's a design change. Class 3, it's the most rare form. There aren't that many of them out there. You won't encounter it very much. When you see it, it'll jump right out at you. It's known as Design Hub Dumpling. There it is. You'll find them. Let's get back to where I'm supposed to be here. SJ's here. SJ, going surfing? Be careful out there, huh? Man, I wish life is a beach. Make my chicken tomorrow. I love you guys. Stay gravy. Oh, stay groovy. Okay. Let's look at class 4. Here's my tuna can. There we go. Flatten that out. That's where I keep my little pieces of paper and stuff in. Nice. Stick them in there. Pretty handy. Class 4. You're going to find these. This is offset hub doubling. All right. Give me my pick. There's my center of that. All right. The whole idea is when I hub it, I take it away and bring it back. All right. I want my center to line up again, because if it doesn't line up, it doesn't rotate. All right. It just kind of offset different direction. Let me, give you. It's like a misaligned die. You've seen those on pennies where the rim is really big on one side and really small on another. Same idea, except there's no rim, right? And it's a misaligned type of thing. This is a bit of an extreme example, but they are out there. Class 4, where are you? I got a 1946. Now, because of the way the fields work on there, a lot of times it's going to be obliterated. Let's have a look in here. Whoops. This is a class 4. A lot of your, where is it? Oh, a lot of your eyeballs are going to be class 4. We have a little extra material right in the eyeball, for example. This is a class 4. It was shifted in this particular direction, kind of that way, just a little bit. And they're out there. You'll find these more often than others. But a lot of the other devices will be obliterated. But they do stand out here and there. Offset hub doubling. It's kind of the easiest to come across. It's just a misaligned axis in between the hubbings. Number 5 is a little easier. Watch this one. I'll get a great example on this one. Here's a number 5. Okay, I'm going to hub it, but then I'm going to pivot the hub. All right, let's say around this point. All right, goes in, I press it, and then it's like a spirograph type of thing. It pivots around a point. All right, it could be any point. So watch this. I'm going to hub it right here. I'm going to pick it off. Then I'm going to pivot that hub just a little bit. Now, what can we look for here? There you go. Kind of. You'll find because it's pivoted around a point, in this case we did it around this point. Because it's pivoted around a point, the further you are from that pivot point, the more it's going to stand out. Here's the C in CJ's coins, and here it is again. I didn't really do that well. Let me try this again. Let me play with a Play-Doh. Play-Doh and CJ and this twisted brain, we can do about anything. Let's try doing this a little better. Tuna. Okay, put it in. I'm going to pivot it around my thumb. Maybe that'll work. Kind of. No matter. Let's have a look. I was going through some foreign coins the other day and came across this. This is pivoted around 4 o'clock. You ever see the K number? This would be a class 5 at K5. All right, this is 5 o'clock. Okay, 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, K6, K9 would be up here. This would be K12. If that's K9, we better draw a doggy. There you go. There's K9, for example. So the further you are from the pivot point, the more it's going to be doubled. That's not it. Okay, this is a, what was it, a 10 peso? 10 centavos? I gotta look. What do we got here? Diaz pesos. Yeah, that's a Mexican coin from 1979. Okay, but it seems to be pivoted from around the point nearest the 9. If I go across the coin over here, I'm going to see some dramatic doubling. And you're going to find this in the tips of the E's and the serifs and the thickness of these letters. If I shade that, you can see some doubling on the entire length of it. This is what a double die is. The die itself has been hubbed more than once and not exactly the same. And you see these splits in the serifs, the long side. It's wider, it's thicker. Right? But as I get closer, let's go around this. Watch that doubling shrink, that distance shrink. You'll see these splits getting closer and closer together until they eventually just disappear. They're real close up here. Oh, that's got a long one there. I better read that. Just about disappearing over here until it's just gone. So seeing it's real weak, it's the weakest over in this area. This is probably around where it was. With my toothpick, this is probably around where it was pivoted. Hi Hidden, hi Silver, hi Steve, hi Clay, David, Lincoln, Paul O'Brien, Bill, Mississippi, Charlie, Joe, Tim, S.J., Randy, Tim, Pusa, Lopez, Jeff, Silver, Baggins, etc. Oh, Eric, and anyone I missed. And you ever see the Christmas shows? You know, Santa reads off his list. These kids have been good. They never called my name. There you go. That's what happens. Over here, a little bit of doubling. There's no real devices on this section. But this is sharp and crisp and clean. And the farther you go, the more it separates. That's a pivoted hub. And where'd we go? I've lost my mouse. I've lost my home. There it is. And that's the thing. If you were to stick a pin through the die, right, and pivoted the hub around that point and hub it a second time, that would be the result. Let's try a clean bit. There you go. I'll press it here, and I'll take it out, and I'm pushing it against that pin, and do it again. And the further, maybe I should do that differently. The further you are from this point, that needs a more detail on there. Not a bad job by CJ though. The further you are across from that, the wider the separation. Huh. 1995. Okay, there's another one. I got another example. Scope. No, not with the screen. I got a 1995. What, did I have it? I swear I had it. Okay, you see the 1995 penny? I'm going to have to open a couple pages here. That is a beautiful example of a class 5. DDO 1995, number 1. Perfect. It's got the screen. Oh, good. Here you go. 1995, DDO number 1. You've seen this before, right? You see it especially around the Liberty. See the way that, you know, it's kind of spun left to right here, or up and down. But over here, in God, it's left to right. That's the result of the pivoting. So DDO 001, that's number 1. It's obverse. It's class 5, and it's counterclockwise from K4, which we know to be, 4 o'clock. That's the pivot point. And the closer you get to K4, which is around by the date, there's almost no doubling over there. There, I'm back. I'll send the fake coins. Coal. That's all I ever got for Christmas. Coal. And socks and underwear. And an orange. Yeah, back in like 1974, getting a fresh orange in December was like the greatest thing. Because, you know, they're just, it's the early ones. Okay, next one. Next is Class 6. You're going to see these a lot. This is Distended Hub. Okay. Now, I'm having some issue with the way Wexler in particular talks about the Class 2 versus the Class 6, because that's a distorted hub, whereas this is a distended hub. And if it's a result of annealing, right, that would be the whole thing stretching outward because it was heated. So it seems to be described as a similar process, okay, where the coin is hubbed, right, it goes to the annealing oven where it grows from the heat, thermal expansion, remember that? And even if I line it up again just right, this is the tricky part, the doubling, it's because it grew. I'm taking a small circle, there you go. I put my little face in here with a hub, and then I make it bigger. I put my face, the hub is going to be the same, but it's already been hubbed. But if it grew, that's the sort of doubling I would expect, outward in every direction. Okay, you're going to see it mostly as extra thickness. Do I have a 6 here? Here's a 6. This is a 2011. This doesn't quite make sense. It's called the Class 6, but this is the single squeeze era. But that's what you're looking at, extra thickness. That's not the regular thickness you should see on Liberty. So this is the one I still don't quite understand the difference between number 6 and number 2. So I'm working on that. Bear with me. But it's a distended hub. It's where you get the swoops on Liberty. It's where you get the extra thickness. And it's the annealing of the die between hubbings, but how can that be a Class 6 if it's in the single squeeze era? So I'm still trying to figure out. There's a lot of theory out there. You got to realize this is new stuff. They really weren't doing this 50 years ago. They're just starting to get into understanding how it works, what's the process by which these things are created, and a lot of work's gone into it. A lot of more to go into it, lots of research. And when you get into Class 8, well, then you get Class 9 also as an offshoot of it. Well, is that a theory? Is it accurate? Is it right? Or should it be a subclass? Number 7 is modified hub doubling. There are no known varieties, although there are some interesting ones. We're going to kind of skip number 7, Class 7, because you're not going to encounter that. Let me get back home here. We're going to talk about Class 8. You've seen these. You've probably seen 100 of them. Okay, when these things go in, right, if they're loose, if they wiggle or wobble around, they can be tilted, right? Instead of being straight on, they can be kind of tilted. Now, what happens if I hit a coin while it's tilted? I'm going to be bigger on one side than I am on the other. All right. If I flatten that out and do it again, I'm going to have a pattern of doubling that's going to be thicker towards the edge, right? But where it's doubled, it's gonna kind of fan into, blend into nothing. So I'd have extra doubling towards the edge, and not too far inward. It's going to be gone. Have I got a Class 6? No, that's a 4. I thought I had a 6. 4, 8. There's an 8. That's the 8. That's what I want. Nope, that's the second 8. I need an 8 from the double hubbing. What's that one? That's the same thing. Okay, I don't have an example at the ready for this. Tilted hub doubling is what this is called for number 8. And that's it. You get a difference between the single squeeze era and the double squeeze era, the old style. Now the old style is going to be subtle, it's going to be near the edge, and it's going to blend down to nothing. Let's skip that because I'm not ready. You can make this up on the fly. Okay, in the single squeeze era, what's going on is that hub is coming in straight, and at the last moment, or it's coming in crooked, at the last moment, it kind of, the pressure snaps it back into shape. So if I come in and hub it straight on, or at an angle, and then all at once hit it straight, that didn't work. May try to play with this. You've seen these. It's the extra columns right beside the Lincoln. There we go. Oops. It left me. Okay. Comes in at an angle. Gets a full hubbing. And then snaps. And you'll get little bits of doubling here. They're going to be pretty darn subtle. Pretty small. And you find them mostly towards the center. There you go. And where do we see that? Oh, this is a perfect example. You should be able to see this one. This is on a satin set. There's 4 of these. 4 different styles. Where'd you go? There you go. And you get extra metal is what it turns out to be. Small, right in the center. In this case, it's a bit of a doubled column. And it's that little bit right down below his knees. They can be more extreme. For example, you got those quarters, right, that have extra detail in the windows. Here, you've got the pump. It came in, left its mark, and then the whole thing snapped, straightened up, and finished the impression. So I've got an extra handle in that window. And you've got the Harper's Ferry quarters with all the little windows kind of doubled up, just a little tiny shift. That's how those are made. Got to look close for those. Yeah, these are tight. The quarters, they're bigger. You get them on the nickels, you get them on the dimes. On the Jefferson Nickels, it's look in the doorway, right, the big door on the reverse. On the dimes, look at that leaf. We had one here. I don't know what to do with that. What's that one? There you go. Look at the leaf. Especially this one right here. This is an example of one. And you need the shadow for that. It's that upper bit of this upper leaf, and sometimes you see it over here, like you see on this one. On this this oak leaf. You'll see it on these. And sometimes you see a little bit on the the fluting on the fascies on the torch. It's out there. Look forward to all weekend. Ooh, it's the 25th. If you want to get in on that, you want to make a video, you just let me know and we'll put you in there. If you can't find me, get a hold of CJ. These, because of the way the single squeeze era has changed the way a lot of these happen, you'll never have the rotated dies again because it's only getting hubbed once. You're not going to have class 2s, right? The distorted die. It's only hubbed once. You're not going to have the, let's see, you're not going to have class 3s, where it's the design hub doubling, right? That's hubbed with one die, then hubbed with one hub, then the hub was changed and hubbed with, no, you can't have that either. Most of these are gone because of the new production, the new single squeeze. Class 4, where it was offset, no, that's going to be hubbed twice, same thing. Pivoted hub, right, where it goes around a single point, nope, single squeeze. Class 6, the distended hub, nope, it's not annealed in between hubbings. Class 7, the modified hub, they hub it change the hub, alter it, do it again. Nope. But number 8, where it comes in, right, leaves its mark and then snaps into place. That one you're going to see. That one is going to stick with us. That's the die not being quite lined up and tight, and at the last moment, because you're putting hundreds of tons of pressure on these things, that's when it just kind of jerks itself into shape, straightens itself out. Happens to me all the time. Okay, if you have any questions, I'd love to field them right now. Otherwise, we're going to talk about how much fun it is to play with all this good stuff. What is that? No, ink. There we go. So double dies, yeah, they're out there. When the die is altered because it's not quite right. That's what a double die is all about. The old style, they did them twice. They would be hubbed twice. And any change, right, in between the hubbings. I mean, they got to line this stuff up right, and there's a whole lot going on. You hub it once, you get an impression. You hub it again, but it doesn't line up exactly right, you're going to have distortion on the coin, because this will then make the coin. And you're looking for thickness, extra thickness on the letters. You're looking for, it's off to the left, off to the right. If it's really, really sloppy, you'll see, separation between the devices. You'll see these serifs. Serifs stands out the most, and it's not much sometimes. Sometimes it's just a little, little tiny bit in the corner. That shows right up. But a lot of that on the newer coins, the past 10 years and going forward from here, these are going to be few and far between. And if you get a lot of collectors coming on, they all want a double die, they're going to get pretty darn scarce pretty darn fast. Get them. They're out there. You can find them in pocket change. See that email, Penny, I sent you, Ken. I can't turn the email on right now. Email is, dude, it's so darn slow. It really screws me up. It's Outlook Express, and I'm just sitting here, come on. If I do it during the live stream, it just kills the live stream. Doesn't number 8 look like MD from moving sideways? Let me show you MD. This is perfect. And how MD and why MD has this flat shelf. I've been waiting for these things to get here, thinking, when's he going to send them? Well, he sent them. Okay, let's take, what do I want? I want to leave a raised. Okay, there's my die. Right? Nope, that's not the one I want. I want this one. That's my die. Looks like a die, shaped like a die. It's sunk in like a die. If I press that into my coin, I'm going to leave raised design. So that would be my coin, right? Now, mechanical doubling, it goes in and it kind of bounces, right? It wants to, but it just kind of wiggles. Did that do anything for me? No. Kinda. All it did was squish the existing detail. Those other letters are gone. But over here, you see how it's flattened out? This area is flat because that field is flat. It's that field, right? It's raised on the die, and these are raised on the coin. It's that flat field on the die impacting the existing letter that creates that flat shelf. Got it? Let's try it again. I'm going to pick that up and just wiggle it a little bit. Maybe did that work? This is real hard. Maybe I can show it over here. Maybe the blue would work better on this. I need a piece of paper. Let's get all these coins out of the way. I'll shove them under the computer. There we go. Let's see what we can see over here. Home. Let's go. I can't see a thing. Oh, there it is. There's a C. that is the CJ. And the second time I squeeze this in, I didn't squeeze it fully, right? It's a bounce. It's not the same pressure. It's gone in, it's made the strike, right? And maybe while it's releasing, that thing just kind of wiggles around a little. And that comes down to how well it's secured in the holder. And probably I'm thinking because this section right here, or the key that's holding it in, on that flat section on the die, I'm suspecting that's what's wearing out and letting it wiggle. And MD is tricky, but it's always going to be flat because it's the flat field of the die. Let's try this. It is that flat field of the die that's impacting the coin again. That's difficult. That's real shiny right there. Okay. So the existing letter is squished. So people look at it, and this part from here over to here is raised, where it has a detail, but this section here is flat. That's the field squishing it flat. But overall, from left to right, that's the original thickness of the original letter, because I just took what was existing and squished it. It's not additionally thick. When the die is not set completely, when it starts to press and then it moves sideways, it can. Yeah, you get what's called push doubling. Let's try this again. Home. Okay, that's my die. See how it's sunk into the piece? Push doubling, right? Let's say it's starting to come up and the whole thing just kind of shoves off to the side. Let's see if that left a mark. Perfect. Perfect. That'd be push doubling, but the whole thing gets shoved. Now we need to compare that C and J to a regular C and J. Good thing I got more Play-Doh. There's a regular CJ. Okay? Now I'm going to compare that to this CJ. Now, if you took what's there and flat, it's the same thickness as this CJ. But this has been impacted. So it's thinner. Look at the top of that C. Compare that to the top of this C. You see how it's thinner? Up at the bottom of the C, how it's thinner. That's what's going on with MD. Beth needs a hall pass. Please report to the principal's office. Okay. MD. Just a little bump is all it gets. All right. But it's going to flatten what's already there. A doubled die. This is doubled. So if I make a coin with that, I'm going to have the same depth. Follow me? Where'd that, oh, I squished it all to hell. There you go. That's been screwed up. This has depth. It has relief. Everything's the same height on the coin because the die has been pressed with the hub. Beth was running in the hall again. I can't teach her anything. Hey, Snakefoot, did not see you come in. Where's Snake? Hey, Jeff. Mark B's here. Coin Finders is here. CJ makes these. He'll sell them to you, I'm sure, but I don't think they're much. I think it's the shipping is probably the biggest hassle. He can do so much stuff with this. But get your own die. Make one at home if you have some carving skills or something. It's quite impressive. The hub looks the same as a coin. It's going to have the relief. This would be what the surface of a hub would look like. Just like that. Looks like a regular penny. The die is the inverse of it. Where's the die? There's the die. Right? So if I press the hub into the die twice, I'm going to leave on the coin two areas that are raised the same height. Whereas mechanical doubling is going to screw up what's already there. It's going to Where'd it go? Mechanical doubling. I'm going to press this die into that again. The only thing I can do with these raised devices is make them thinner. I can't make them thicker with MD. I can only distort what's already there. Okie dokie then. That got caught smoking in the bathroom. That smoker. And here, oh, I love this one. I love this. That's a cud. That's the best darn thing I've ever seen for showing off what a cud is. I mean, you get a whole side of that die is gone. That's perfect. Yep, this got messed up while he was printing it, so just, here you go. I'll just send it to you. That's what CJ does. Yeah, and she took MT SIGs. My SIGs. You can have some of mine. I'll ship them to you. You want a review? Master. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to start over. Double dies are all about the way the die, what we're producing here is a die, not the way the die is produced. The hub is raised, looks just like your coin. I press it into the hub, right? I'm going to take it off, heat it up, hub it again, and ideally it's going to line up exactly. If it doesn't, I get doubling. Ooh, that was a pretty good job, right? I can rotate it. So I have a rotated hub, pick it up, rotate it. So I'm keeping the axis the same. Press it in again. There we go. And the farther from the center, the more it's going to be moved. So you'll see clearly it's been twisted rotary. Up at the top, it'll be shifted to one direction. At the bottom, it'll be shifted in the other. Right, over here, it's going to the left. Over at the bottom, it'll be going to the right because it's rotated. Okay. Class 2. What the heck was Class 2? Was the distorted hub. Or it's actually the, okay, theory number 1 is that the hub itself that would go in, that this, whoops, lost it, that this hub, because I'm using it repeatedly, this will get mushroomed and distended and flattened out. And the other idea is that it's as a result of the thing going into the annealing oven, it's stretching, it's distorted. Number 3 is design hub doubling, right? Where I hub it, send it off to be annealed, and then this master hub gets changed with a different design and hubbed again. So you have like small date over large date. That's a different hub altogether. Okay, you got, let's see, what was the next one? Class 4 is offset hub doubling. All right. The offset, you got to go to the axis of that coin. Right, you're looking at that axis, and ideally it's lined up like an axle. So the center of the hub wants to go to the center of the die each time, right? But if it's off, there you go, it's going to look doubled. Then you have class 5, the pivoted hub. Do it again. Real simple one. Let's make some room here. That's a pivoted hub where it gets hubbed and it spins around a point. And it's usually described as a clock point. Say this would be K10. And the further you are from the pivot point, the more it's going to be shifted. You got number 6 is the Distended Hub. It's got extra thickness. All right. And this is supposedly the annealing, which is the stretching. And this is where I have a problem with number 2. Because if I make that die a little bigger and then hub it again with the same hub, I'm going to have what appears to be some doubling. Imagine this is lined up in the same position, but I changed the diameter of the die. Number 7 is a modified hub. That's when it was hubbed. They did something to the die, did it again. Of course, it's not going to match. No known varieties, although there was one in the 50s, 58, which seems to be a 5807, but that's been debunked. And you got class 8, which is a tilted hub. Okay, the old school, it went in tilted, and the second hub is straight on. And new school, now this is where Copper Coins comes up with the class 9. New school, it comes in crooked, makes a design, and then snaps and completes the design. And you have a bit of doubling typically found in the center. That's what we got. Am I going to have to watch this again? Well, I'll just give you the short version there. Yeah, watch it again. Watch it 10 times until you learn. Now, we're going to stay here. I got to find my way. Here's the screen. Yep. Okay, Wexler. If you go to Wexler's Coins, that's doubledie.com. I'll post a link in just a moment here. He's got a great list, and you have to go to that first one where it says Double Die. He's got a great series of articles about all these classes and how they're produced. You know, here's some pictures of actual dies. This is a hub right here. And here it is, class 1 through class 8. And he talks about, in 8, he talks about class 9s. And that's a wonderful article. Now, give me one moment. I can find the live. There's the live. And then come up to the top. Where's Wexler? I'm going to copy that. Did you use a class 1 labeled prop? It's labeled. Well, there's a link to Wexler. It's labeled. It's labeled. Yeah, we use the heck out of it. Okay, that's a die. That's a hub or a coin. There's the cut die, and that's class 1. Oh, very nice. Let's try to produce that. All right. Let's see if we can produce that looking thing using that hub. Let's flatten it first. There we go. Now, class 1, what kind is that? Rotated hub dumpling, right? That's where I'm going to hub the die. Then I'm going to kind of make it let go, and I'm going to rotate that piece right here, just a little bit. And on the outside, that's where it's going to show up the most. And over here, that's where it shows up the most. How do those compare? I think I might have pressed it too hard the second time. Let's try it again. There you go. There you go. Compare that one. Gosh, I lost. Oh, damn it. Oh, that's just nasty. I'll be getting more Play-Doh. Got cat hair all over it. Never read the instructions. Who reads those things? Let's try it again without dropping it into the cat hair. Okay. Yeah, that's a little stiffer. Oh, look, it says class 1. That's a little stiffer. We might get some good results here. All right, I'm going to hub it. I'm going to pick it up and rotate it just a hair. Hub it again. And how do these compare? That's pretty good. That's pretty good line up there. And the center, you can see he's got extra thickness down here on the J, on the fatness of the J. And that's pretty parallel. Over here, okay, it's a little more extreme. But you can watch CJ's video about him making this die with his CAD, whatever the heck that software is. He sent me a link to it. I can't figure it out. I'm pretty simple. Well, I suppose I can throw this away, or should I store the green in it? That's the yellow cup. No cat hair in it. Man, that was nasty. I didn't want to show you that Play-Doh cover with cat hair. There. I'll get more. These are like 50 cents. They're great to play with. Ta-da! Play-Doh. The best stuff on earth. We used to play with this over at Jay's house. It dries out, though. Good job, Professor. CJ, nice stuff for Ken did well. Show the struck through with cat hair. Oh God. Oh, there's one. Oh, 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 oh. We got to do that. Struck through. Gosh, we got dies. Okay. You got a normal die. That's this one. All right. Where's my tuna can? And I need a strike through. Something to strike it through. Perfect. What do you got? What do you got? What do you got? Perfect. I need a cutter. Okay. And I need a piece of debris. There you go. I got a pen. No, pencil. And there's a piece of debris. A strike through. Something gets in between the die and the planchet and is struck through the debris. And the debris wanders off. And that would be your coin. So that bit where the debris was in there would be lower than the fields or lower than the devices, or would cut into the devices. That is a struck through error. Oh, that's cool. Well, we could do all kinds of stuff with this. See, it's got the regular design of the coin plus this bit. Now this is going to be, different than the field. It could be into the field of the coin because it would be raised on that die. You follow me? So over here, yeah, that's below the field. Struck through. Show the struck through with a cat hair. Now I discarded that. That was pretty nasty. Had like a toenail in it and stuff. Cat hair would have worked fine. I don't think we'd see it. Let me try some of my hair. No, that ain't gonna work. Wait, I got some here. Yep. Oh, cool. Now we're gonna have a whole class on struck through errors. Yeah, that's neat. And if you take sandpaper to this, right, you'd have polishing marks, which I wonder if we can see those. I need a little line right over here. Can we see that one? A little bit of a line right there. I wonder if we could see that. This is going to be very difficult. Oh yeah, we're going to put that under the scope. Scope it is. Okay, let's see. You have on his printer, right? It's a 3D printer. It squeezes out ink through a little tip, and well, you can't see it here, but there's texture to this. It has some detail at the, the surface level. There you go. We can just about see that. That's the equivalent of the polishing marks on your die, which will, if you get close up, you can see them on the coin. Now he's got a bigger one over here about 4 o'clock. Let's see if we can see that. Where's it coming out? Oh, no, it's at the C. Yeah, it's 4 o'clock in the die, so on the finished coin, no, it's just not strong enough. But you can see here, what the heck is this? There's too much stuff on the desk. If it's on the die, it's going to come out on the coin because you got some massive pressure here. You can see these little fine marks of the way the plastic was added to this printing job. See these details, the texture? That's the surface of the coin. Boy, this is cool as hell. We can have so much fun with this. Alrighty. That's what I've got for today, folks. That was a pretty good hour. And we get to play with Play-Doh, make a struck through error. Great example. Look at the texture on the $5 maple leaf. Oh, wow. Yeah, he's talking. That maple leaf has this radial pattern. We're going to be hard pressed to see that. Same thing on the obverse. Yeah, you can see it here, this radial pattern of lines all around the coin. That would be the surface of the die. And that would be the die. So if you look at the surface of that, anything you have on there is going to show up on the coin. There it is, same thing in the back. Now there are some optical effects. I'm getting some swirling. I think that's an optical effect because, well, it's being transferred into digital. Over here in the die itself, you can see these marks. You take a sandpaper to a die, right? You're going to leave them, they're very fine, and they show up in the coin. That's your polishing marks. Yep, and we can make them. Thanks, Ken. Awesome job as usual, says Chad Shelver. Thanks, and come again. Watch them all. There's plenty of other shows. And I've got plenty of cat. If you like cat hair, I can send you some. There's plenty. That looks like... Okay. This is a family channel. Mark B. The U.S. Silver Eagle needs radio lines just for something different. It wouldn't be too bad. This one has saved my playlist. Thanks, Ken PV and CJ's Coins and Crafts. Thank you, Coin Finders. Play with it. Try it out for yourselves. Get some Play-Doh. Get some tools. I mean, I'm using a tuna can here, right? Where are you? Where are you? I'm using a tuna can, but it's enough that I can make a flat oblong circle. Okay, I can make a design, and anything I press into that, a structure error, yeah, I can make that with a tuna can. Seriously, there it is. But I got to get that strike-through device piece out. There you go. And there's my mark. Left behind. Do it with a die. It's the same darn thing, except you have, you know, the design of the die in there. And that structure stays. And figure that piece of debris goes away. There it is. Struck through cloth. Yeah, you'll see the fabric pattern pressed into the coin. Very informative. Thank you, sir. Interesting, says C. Penny Pick It Up. Ken, what is up with all of the nasty comments? We're getting a lot of that. Pay it no heed. If you give these people attention, they'll keep coming back. If you don't give them attention, they'll go somewhere else to get that attention. Pay them no heed. Delete them, remove them, block them, and discuss them no further. And they will go away. Lloyd Halsell, thank you. I really learned a lot today. What about die cracks? Okay, I press that in. Use that up 1,000 times, right? Remember what I talked about? Eventually, this surface here, it's going to take a pounding, right? The dies, they can break. Now, if I took a die here, and beat on it real hard, throw it at the wall, throw it at the floor, and put a crack in it, that crack would appear on the coin. All right, and I got rid of my yellow. I have another video where I explained die chips, die cracks, retained cuds and cuds using the Play-Doh, and that'll give you a better idea. But a die crack, effectively, if this were a die, and I made one out of Play-Doh. Let me try to get this Play-Doh working. Don't feed the trolls. That's right. It's been like this, what, we've been online for 20 years, and it's been like this for 20 years online. It ain't nothing new. Ignore them. Yep. Give them what they want, and they'll stay. If you don't give them what they want, they'll go find it somewhere else. All they want is attention and disruption. Okay. Here's the die. That's a really lousy shot. Here's the die. Right here. Okay? If I beat on this real hard, I can crack that die. Right? It'll just kind of split and wear. A piece will show up, and that crack, metal will fit into there. So when I press that into a coin, all right, this is the same as a void. And that's a void. When I press that into a coin, it's going to leave a mark. That's what that is. A retained cud. That's when that crack just keeps on going, right? Keeps, and I start, that whole piece is starting to break away, right? I can actually break that away, right? So that's like it's a retained cud. And this piece right here, that's the cud. This is a cud die, right? This is a cud die. And that's the cud. The cud is the piece that broke off the die. We're back. You didn't like the beach? Okay. Well, we're getting into 4:30 here. We're going to call it good for today. Remember, Mantic Coins is coming up next. He'll be on in an hour. He's at the store right now, but give him time. He'll be home shortly. It'll be, of course, Shay and Adriana Hoffmaster. They have a great show. Get in there and watch it. It can go long, so do your thing, come back, and he'll still be on. We're eating. What you eating? That's what I want to know. I had some cheese earlier. Man, I love that cheese. You get cheese and bacon and cheese. You can make a sandwich with just cheese and bacon. I mean, really, what else do you need? I'm getting a French dip. Ho ho, as they say in France. Make sandwiches for you got to make sandwiches for Mantic Stream. Yeah. Do we need to make more dies or hubs? Talk to other people, because I bet you other people would like to have some dies and hubs and stuff just to play with and work with and experiment with and do their own show explaining how these things are made. Because these are just, this is an awesome tool. I would add some numbers down to the bottom, because one issue I had with showing these was that, if I have a pivoted hub, right, where it's pivoted around one point, because I don't have extra detail down here around that edge, you know, down here, it's like Liberty. That made it hard to show the difference in separation far and near. But that's the only issue I have here. But as a useful tool, dude, this is a handy damn thing. I would, you could do these, and God, the market for these, so many coin clubs across the nation that couldn't use these to explain how double dies are made. Man, these are handy things. It's like a poker chip. That's a class 1 double die. Ta-da. Real handy. Wait, maybe I'm blocked. Aha! The student that is flunking is blocked. Hey, that makes sense. That's right. You better tighten up or you're going to get blocked. Okay, ask a professor a question maybe 5 times. I'm sorry, I've been busy. When I'm doing this, it's really hard to see the screen, right? I got the screen going. This is what I see, right? So when you're looking at, say, this page, I can't see the chat. If you're looking at that page, right, the show times, I can't see the chat. Here's the video directory. Right, here's the Saturday show times. Here's a whole list of video channels. Dude, there's all kinds of stuff to watch. And we're filling them up on the coin seminar. We got, what, 14 different shows coming up on the 25 and 26. But if I can't see that chat, I can't answer your question. But it gets pretty busy. You know, I got focus. Well, let's see. I turn that way. I turn to my right, and that's where this camera is. That's my right hand. I turn to my left. That's where the little camera is. So if you see me looking over here and over there, I can't see the chat. The best way, really, do a @KenPeavy, because that'll make it orange, and I can see it a little easier. You know he has no time to read chat hidden. Please be patient, buddy. That's right. I try. I really try to keep up with chat. But when I get to going, it's real tough. Because I get to babbling sometimes. Just running my mouth. Yep. Whatever it is, it's probably on my blog. And you'll find the link to that down below. It's 1millionpenniesproject.blogspot.com. And it's on my blog. You're probably looking for the Showtime schedule, I bet you. Yeah, it's out there. if you want to get on the Showtime schedule, give me an email right up here, and you can check it on my blog and see what's open. Right? Rather than say, if you ask me, is 5 o'clock open? I'm not going to answer you because you can go and look that up yourself over my blog. And where is my blog? USB screening me. Here we go. All right, there's my blog, 1millionpenniesproject.blogspot.com. And you'll find the Video Coin Seminar Weekend. If you don't have it here, I'll put it right where this is so people can find it easy. But you find the show times, you click on that, and this will pop up. So you can find out who's doing what and when. And all you got to do is look for, geez, is it open at 3:30? Nope. How about 5:30? Nope. How about 6:30? Hey, he's from 5 to 6, and he's 7 to 3. There's an opening. Sunday, lots of openings. Only 3 hour, 2.5 hours programmed. But Saturday's filling up quick. Now, if you want that to be a big success, you want that to be a big event, the video seminar, share the word. Over my blog, I got a few memes, a few images you can share. People have started to make videos talking about this thing. Make a video. Say, hey, we're having a coin video seminar. You want to show up for that? Here's a link. If you have a blog, well, geez, by all means, copy and paste onto your blog. I don't claim property to it. It's all of us that have to make this happen. I have a question. Whatever the stuff under the desk, that include the cat? That's worth it. I cleaned up the desk. I cleaned up a little bit back here the other day. I found some really good stuff. Look, I've got to go, to the reading room. I'm going to put my Play-Doh away. I seem to have lost a tub. It's down there somewhere. And Mantic's coming up in an hour. Usually I get dinner ready, make a bunch of sandwiches and get ready. So I'm going to thank you guys for stopping in. I'm going to take off. Let me catch up on 1 or 2 last questions. Keep up the good work, says Sia Penny. Thank you very much. Okay, guys. I want to thank you for stopping in. Get some of these from CJ. They're pretty darn handy. Take it easy now.